Evolution versus revolution, and since 2020, the Sonatas have been selling strong as Hyundai's flagship sedan. But today, we're about to go ahead and break down the Sonata SEL package by package by package. Let's go. The Sonata has remained virtually identical since the year 2020, but in the year 2023, they did reshuffle a few of the packages, and today I bring you the freshest version, and we are going to start with the SEL. Now, before I dive into the SEL real deep, I want to go ahead and give you a very quick introduction into the SE so you can really appreciate the upgrades that they made. First off, that you can see in the SE model, which is the entry-level Sonata, you can see that the bumpers are a little different on this one as opposed to the SEL, which is a little bit more sporty, a little bit more aggressive. Now, the Sonata SE also does come with alloy wheels, but the Sonata SEL actually does have bigger versions with those 17 inches on there instead of the 16s that come on the SE. Another difference in the Sonata SEL is that the SEL is the first Sonata that actually brings the smart key and the first one that actually brings push button start. So from a distance, if you have the key on you, lock the car 2 times, push and hold the little hold button at the bottom with the circle, and the car fires right up. So that way, if you're about to leave the house or the office, you could actually cool the car down before you actually head out, which down here in Florida is a lifesaver. Oh, and by the way, I am a real sales consultant here in Orlando. So if you want these or any other Hyundais, make sure you click the link below that says schedule with Miguel. That way I can guarantee that once you get here, you'll be getting me, because the saying goes, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And if you are not getting me, who knows what kind of deal you'll be getting. But if you do get me, I'm gonna do my best to go ahead and hook you up. But back to the Sonata. Now, another great feature beyond the remote start from your key is the remote start from the app, because with the SEL on up, every single Sonata has Hyundai's BlueLink system. BlueLink has a massive amount of usefulness because you could do things like remote start the car, set the time from 1 to 10 minutes, and even set the temperature of the air conditioning inside of the vehicle. And the best part is that it is free for your 3-year trial period. Correct, 36 months of a free trial. And just a fair warning, that is one of those things that will spoil you, because your next car, if it doesn't have BlueLink, you are going to be sorely missing it. So fair warning. Now, getting to the rear end of the vehicle, you will be happy to know that all the Sonatas, like I said, have the same amount of space, and you have a massive amount of trunk room in the rear of the Sonata. Now, hopping into the car, have you ever been driving down the road and you need just a chair, and then you need to do that little doggy butt shuffle across the carpet? How annoying is that? But with the electric driver's seat, all you have to do is slightly touch it until you reach that level of perfect comfy, and that's it. Enjoy your ride. But now you do have a lovely amount of room in the front and in the rear seating areas, but something that you might have missed is that I said you can set the temperature of the car from your BlueLink app, because as you can see right here, you also do have digital air conditioning. So if you specifically want it to be set at 72 degrees, you can actually set it to 72 degrees on your app, or you can set it to whatever degrees you want when you're actually driving in the car. And my favorite part is that it is dual zone. So you can set one side to one temperature, another side to another temperature, and no more fighting on long road trips. Now, if I may direct your attention north of that dual zone air conditioning, I want to show you one of the coolest things in the 2023 generation, and that is the 10.25-inch navigation screen, because yes, now the Sonata SEL with the regular package actually brings factory navigation from Hyundai. You still have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support, but let's say if your phone is completely dead and you don't have a way to charge it, you'll still be able to find your way home with the factory nav. Do you see why I started with the SEL? I love how it's the best all-around Sonata that you have. Just enough to make you happy and comfortable, but not too much where it's overbearing and annoying. But let's say if you have a little bit more of a fancier taste, a little bit techier of a taste, let's go ahead and upgrade from the SEL to the SEL with the convenience package. Let's go. And that is the SEL with the convenience package. And although from the outside it looks nearly identical to the regular SEL, those eagle-eyed among you have probably already noticed that this thing has a black roof, meaning that the SEL with the convenience package is the first Sonata that actually brings the panoramic sunroof. Now, aside from the sunroof, basically the exterior is identical to the regular SEL, but when you actually climb in and dive a little bit deeper, you'll start to notice that it is a little different. Sitting right here behind the leather wrapped steering wheel, which is a difference in and of itself, you also have the 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, meaning that you can see the revs and you can see the speed, but also when you change it into drive mode, you can see it change in dramatic fashion, and just my little inner child is telling me that that is so cool. Now, panning over, another difference that you're going to get right here next to the shifter is the wireless device charging. So if your phone is running out of juice and you don't have a cable, just put it on the wireless charger and it will charge up your phone. Assuming your phone can actually charge wirelessly, of course. Now, something else that you get for my Android people out there is Digital Key, meaning that if you have an Android powered phone, you can actually use your phone as the key, which is a phenomenal feature. And beyond that, something that I absolutely love, if your family comes from out of town to visit, you could actually make their phone their digital key, so their phone can actually work on your car for the time that they're visiting. Unfortunately, it's still currently only for Android users. Hopping on into the back, another great thing that you're going to see, and something that I personally love down here in Florida, is the second row with the vents, because the rear passengers get their own dedicated air conditioning vents. As you can see, you also have an extra USB plug in case somebody's device is running low on juice. Just plug it into the car and you are good to go. Now that the main points are covered, let's say that you actually like everything that you just saw but need a little bit more pep in your step when you hit the accelerator. Well, this next car is going to be perfect for you because we're about to upgrade to the SEL Plus. And that, everybody, is the Sonata SEL Plus. And if you can't tell already, you are getting a little bit more of everything, at least stylistic wise, because safety is basically the same. But you do have a few extra features. One of those features being the rims. Those things are plus because they went from 17-inch rims to these beautifully stylized 19-inch rims. Another cool way that you can tell it's a plus is that if you look at the car and the rear view mirror housing is black, it's an SEL Plus. If it's white, Portofino gray like this one, you will always have those black rear view mirrors. Now that brings me to my next point. Remember what I said, if you want a little bit more pep in your step when you accelerate, get the SEL Plus? Well, notice I didn't say you actually get more horsepower, because truth be told, the 2.5 non-turbo Sonatas actually give you more horsepower than the Sonata SEL Plus you see before you. 191 horsepower as opposed to 180 that you find in this pretty thing. But what it lacks in horsepower, it makes up for in torque, because the regular Sonatas have 180 pound-feet of torque, but this thing has 195 pound-feet. So from red light to red light, the Sonata SEL will probably come out victorious. Oh, and by the way, don't worry about the MPGs, because if you're good with the combined 31 city highway on the Sonata SEL, you're gonna love that the Sonata SEL Plus gives you the exact same 31 MPGs combined city highway. So on your rare trip to the gas station, you could have your Reese's and eat it too. Now, one of the beautiful things about the SEL Plus is that you have this beautiful leather and suede interior with this gray leather and this gray suede contrasted by the red stitching on the steering wheel and on the seats. It is just as nice to sit in as it is to look at, and really sets apart the SEL Plus from the entire line of SELs. Now, if you're over here thinking, I forgot about the Sonata N line, I didn't, but that car is such a beast, it deserves its own video. So make sure you go ahead and click this little video link right here, or down in the description if you want a fully detailed tour of the Sonata N line. And so guys, those have been some of the biggest differences in the Sonata SEL, SEL Convenience, and the SEL Plus. And no, I didn't talk about every single little detail car because it would take way too long and I'm too far for that. But if you like these videos, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share, and hit the little bell notification to know of the freshest videos the second that they are dropped. And leave me a few comments of what else you would like to see. But until next time, I'm your car guy, and I'll see you soon. Now, another great thing beyond the remote start from the key is the remote start. Remember when I said if you want a little bit more pep in your step to get the Sonata Plus? You'll be getting me, because I guarantee you that if you don't deal with me, you cannot get the hookups I will give you, being that you found me right here on my channel. But anyway, back to the Sonata.